call driving carpool and banging your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life? We'll see who gets the last laugh. My mom grew up here, that old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Deetz?
Unfortunately.
She's a legend.
The living, the dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
Ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're gonna keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Days. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey.
Recognize this puss.
Never seen that chick before in my life. Or Afterlife.
Are you doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
Swear the afterlife is so random.
You're that thing from my dream.
Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
What the f? Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, arriving in theaters on September 6th. I'm Kuya Peters, Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things Beetlejuice are my pals from the Peach Review, Mr. John Jones. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, my friend. This one, luckily enough, isn't a horror film because we know you're a little fraidy cat on the horror film. So just a little plug, just a little jab real quick. Great as always, because we want you here all the time with us, John. Because Anthony and I love horror films. So let's throw him some love. My man from the movie review, screen comment, and film threat, Mr. Anthony Francis. Don't we want John around, Anthony? Like, come on, man. Stop being a scared.
Yeah, sure. It's great. Sounds good. Of course we do. And we wish you loved horror as much as we do.
Yeah, man, you got to. We got to bring him to these cons with us, Anthony, as we're talking about. We're going to pull you in, John.
You're gonna pull it out of me?
We're going to pull you in.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Good.
All right. We're going to exercise those demons. And speaking of exercising demons, let's get into Beetlejuice. Say it one more time. He appears, Beetlejuice. And we're now in the Phantom Zone, if you will. We are in that zone. We're going to talk all things Beetlejuice as we do. We'll talk a little bit about the cast, the crew, and then, of course, give you our thoughts. And I think this is going to be a fun one, y'all, because we just screened this film last night as of this recording. And we have thoughts, and we've been holding it. So I know we're ready to dig in. So real brief, the cast, the crew. We have, obviously, director Tim Burton bringing back his one of his most famous characters in Beetlejuice back on the directing chores, Mr. Tim Burton. Writers on this are Alfred Goh, Miles Millar, and Seth Graham Smith. And we have stars Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, Justin Theroux, Willem Dafoe, Monica Bellucci, Arthur Conti, and a plethora of more folks involved with this film. Again, we're highlighting a few. But we give our flowers virtually to the entire cast and crew because it takes a village. And also I want to point out Danny Elfman because you have to have a Danny Elfman soundtrack with a Tim Burton film, and they deliver. So that's your cast, your crew. Again, shout out to everyone on that. The story, the plot, without spoiling, I'm going to do my best. It's been many a year since the last Beetlejuice has passed out. Has it been 30 years, guys, or 20? since the last.
36 years.
I feel so dated and old just thinking years. I feel so dated and old just thinking about that. 36 years. Our young Lydia Deetz, Winona Ryder, is all grown up now. She is now a horror host. She has a TV show. Her mom, played by Catherine O'Hara, has always been high arts. Is now doing body canvas arts, and is just obviously killing it in New York, the only place that she can rule with that highbrow, high art fashion. She's there. Lydia Deetz's daughter is Jenna Ortega, Astrid Deetz. She's off in school, but she's kind of like the Lydia Deetz from the original film, estranged from her mom in a lot of ways, because she's just like her own person. And Jenna is off living her best life, trying to just kind of get away from the thing that is her mom, because she doesn't believe, if you will, in ghosts and goblins and all of that. But a murder happens. Well, not a murder, a death occurs that brings the family back to this town where we first met Beetlejuice. And this film, by the way, I love that we opened with some of the classic tropes of some of the original stuff that we love about Beetlejuice. We have a bird's eye view shot of the town, and we go in between the bird's eye view shot with the model setup of the town that we know from the original film, and then we have our characters in the town. So yes, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. All of our characters come back because of this death, and then obviously they get caught up into some situations. We meet some new characters. Beetlejuice has a wife. What is up with that? The host, Lydia Deetz, Winona Ryder, she has a relationship with her producer that's going on there. And our young Jenna Ortega meets a young man in the town that they're back at for this funeral, and hijinks occur, and Beetlejuice 3 times is brought back to help solve the situation. But then obviously when you make a deal with Beetlejuice, it's not what you think. And there we go. There's a lot going on in this film. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I did enough work there without spoiling in regards to the plot, the cast, the crew. So many feelings, and I'm ready to dive in with my guys. Let's throw it to the guy who loves Beetlejuice, and I love Beetlejuice too, but I know he has a certain set of feelings on this. Let's throw it to Anthony Francis. What were your thoughts when they came back with a new Beetlejuice? Let's start there. Leading into this film, how pumped were you to have Beetlejuice back?
I wasn't pumped until I saw the trailer. Even though it was Tim Burton, he hasn't been on his game for a while, and I wondered if, the studio was like, "Hey Tim, here, come on, we're gonna write you a Beetlejuice movie. Let's." So I wasn't really thrilled, and I confess I'll be the negative Nancy on this only. I'm tired of. I don't mind a good sequel to a film I like as long as it's worthy. I'm tired of digging way back. Even though I confess I don't like Top Gun, I had a blast with Top Gun Maverick. I thought they did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
But mostly it's, like I said, a cash grab and I wasn't that thrilled, I'll be honest. And then when I saw the teaser, I'm like, oh, that might. And then when I saw the final trailer, I thought I was excited. I was juiced.
I like that.
Loose.
You were juiced.
Loose.
The juice is loose. All right, John Jones. We're not in the review yet. What were your thoughts with the Beetlejuice coming?
Man.
Oh.
Man. I mean, I liked the cartoon more than I did the original movie. But the cartoon, I liked the cartoon a lot. But I mean, I really wasn't excited. But also, I'm not a big Tim Burton guy, so I was like, it'll probably be the same way I thought with the movie. But yeah, those are my initial. I wasn't really excited at all.
Not a Tim Burton guy.
Oh no. Wow, we're learning new things about this guy every day, Anthony.
Bro, yeah. I think he's heavily overrated. Heavily.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would give it to you for his films that Anthony was saying earlier that kind of fallen off, but when he first started, that man was rolling. But Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll respect the feelings there, John. Let's
I'm
go.
not-
Let me continue with you. All right. So let's get in the film because I know we want to go to town on this and we have limited time for this recording. So you saw the film. Let me know your thoughts, man. Let's talk about it. Go start us off, John.
Oh, you want me to start? Okay.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's start with the negative first, obviously,
I mean,
because
well,
we already
first,
know. I know.
okay, okay. But let me, since you guys haven't seen it yet, because I was the last to join, I'll just put that out there. I'll just read you my headline.
Oh, okay.
Tim Burton's rebooted cash grab won't conjure new fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's now I'm not gonna go as far as saying Jenna Ortega can do no wrong in my mind, but the last 5 projects I've seen her in, she was awesome. And not to mention that she was made for dark humor,
Oh yeah.
drama, like so her character was perfect. We know her from like Wednesday and then all the other stuff she did. So she was fine. Catherine O'Hara had her moments. She was pretty funny. But I know a lot of people afterwards were talking bad about my man Justin Theroux. Justin Theroux was hilarious. He was hilarious. See, you guys see. So I'm different there. I thought he was funny. Um, Michael Keaton was pretty good, but there were too many gotcha moments where the camera would freeze on a character after they said something, and it would be awkward silence. And I'll give you an example. One moment he was like, "Gotcha," and then it panned away. It's like, what was the extra 3 seconds for? And that happened 6 times. I counted. It happened
Wow.
6 different times, and I was like, "Come on, man! You're supposed to be a veteran. You're supposed to be this big Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas. People think I'm special Edward Scissorhands guy, and we're not cutting these things. Like, why is this editing so bad? Why are we doing this? Why was the film even made 38 years later? Like, I didn't think it was good. It had some moments, some parts were funny. I'll give Willem Dafoe his props because he was pretty funny too. But yeah, I mean, it thumbs down for me. You missed me with it.
All right, we'll get back to you, John, to dig in a little bit more on that. All right, let's head over to Anthony Francis. What was your headline on this one, Anthony?
Hold on a second. my my headline is a fun and funny gothic blast. That was my headline, and
I love this night and day on this one, guys. Go ahead.
quite literally, we couldn't be farther apart. I say in my review that, and I stand by this, and I always will, because you just heard what I said about sequels. This is one of the best legacy sequels I have ever seen. Because what do I mean by that? It stays true to all of the characters. It doesn't try to modernize anything, even though it's set now versus 36 years ago. And I think the purity of the characters and how they were drawn back in '88 is still there. You have to adjust Winona Ryder's Lydia because she's now a woman, not a gothy, unruly teen. But that's what Jenna Ortega is for. Yeah, no, I loved it, even though I recognize a couple of its flaws. But it didn't hurt it for me. What's flawed? It's overstuffed. There's too much in there, and a couple of the things don't get enough time. I liked Justin Theroux in this movie. I thought he was funny. I don't like Justin Theroux as an actor, and it bothered me. That was another thing when I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh man, why is he in this thing? You know, but he was very funny and very well written, and I enjoyed it. Nah, not a fan. I'm sorry, John. But I thought it was a blast. I'm trying to hurry up so everybody can get their stuff in. I was laughing harder than I thought I would. There was only 1 or 2 jokes where I said, "Oh, that was, of course they were going to do that." That was kind of tired. Otherwise, I thought it was really creative and very, very funny. And Michael Keaton, John Jones, I really think that it doesn't feel like he ever stepped out of the suit. I mean, I thought he was just flawless as Beetlejuice as he was in '88.
Awesome. All right, there you go. Anthony Francis, John Jones. My piece real quick, and then we'll dig even more. I thought it had the spirit of Beetlejuice. It was great to have these moments. If you're, as I said on the radio, my radio piece for this, it had. If you're a Beetlejuice fan, you're gonna love this film. It has all the things you love about the Beetlejuice lore in its DNA. It captures the spirits. But my biggest thing, and you said this, Anthony, is it was overstuffed. So that's my problem with it. Is they had just so much things, so many things that they wanted to present that they just didn't get around to it, and that to me made it feel soulless. It took away from its soul, and that's what hurt it for me. I enjoyed myself. Am I recommending this film? Yes, but to John, like, yeah, it felt like a cash grab because they threw all the stuff that we know, nostalgia and everything, but gave us a weak story. And to me, I want my story to be complete. It needed its soul. But I did enjoy myself. But yeah, I can't help that it from my feelings that it felt somewhat soulless. Yeah, to all of your points, because man, I had a thought, but I'm losing it. So let's talk about some different moments, if you will, and favorite characters, standouts, least the character we'd like the less. Like we said earlier, there's a lot of things that they wanted to do, and story wise, like we get introduced to Monica Bellucci, and we stay there for a little bit too long with her reanimation. We're introducing the wife of Beetlejuice. We get that story. Then we have Lydia Deetz. She's now hosting a ghost show, but has an estranged relationship with her daughter. And Justin Theroux, her producer. That's a whole nother story there that they could have gone. And then we have the death of the patriarch and Catherine O'Hara dealing with that takes him back to town. So there's like these different storylines that they could go. And Jenna Ortega, I don't know if I said this, meets a young man in the town. So we get that. And then there's a whole story that to me kind of like really shined, that we find out about this young man that was so interesting, but then we kind of just go away from that to a degree. It's solved very easily. But then also I have to say, I recently watched Beetlejuice over the weekend to prep myself again for this film. And I feel like I'm going to have everybody hating on me now. I don't know if it holds up, Anthony. It just was weird because Beetlejuice is kind of he's messing around with a little girl, with Lydia Deetz, and now he still has this fascination with this little girl who's now a grown woman. I don't know. It's just kind of awkward being a father with a young daughter. I don't know. It felt kind of weird and maybe dated, to John's credit, in this character. It made me think about, the cartoons. I enjoy the cartoons a little bit more because I feel like it's straight away from that. But looking at the film again after so long, kind of just felt a little awkward. But I also love Beetlejuice. I don't know. I'm a bundle of emotions. Let me throw it back to you guys. Who wants it? John, favorite character, moments, all that.
Favorite character. Hey, look, favorite character. I'll give it to Jenna Ortega. I'll give it, even though I love you, Monica Bellucci. But I mean, they definitely didn't they didn't respect Monica Bellucci. I have to investigate and see if something happened contractually or off camera or something, because that was just Game of Thrones season 8, just no arc, no closure, no nothing. That was weird. I think my least favorite character was goodness. Let me see. I don't really have a least. I think they were all.
I didn't like Justin Theroux, and you're all gonna hate me for that. I didn't feel
Justin
him.
Theroux was amazing.
I didn't.
Well, no, Anthony didn't like him.
I don't like him usually.
Yeah, Anthony doesn't like him.
He was just kind of as a producer. Which he needed to be. He needed to be an icky, guy. But I don't know. But I don't think also they gave him enough time. Personally, I think because he did so much, I don't think any of them got enough time to really. Again, it was so stuffed. Anthony, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I wonder. It wasn't my turn. I wonder if. I I wonder if too much of that character, and not because of the actor, just because of the character, I wonder if too much of that character would have been too much. Like,
yeah, I feel that.
If we would have had as much fun with him in larger doses. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Would you wanted them to center on one of the stories? Because to me, there's so many stories that they went with. It felt like Warner Brothers, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Great ideas, but not enough time in 2.5 or 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
That we all can agree on was the plot, even though you hated it, John, because of its overstuffedness. Anthony, you didn't mind it. Would you have all appreciated to stick on one thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded. I didn't have a problem with the boy that Jenna Ortega meets. I thought there was enough to me, just enough. But I do agree. Wow, you wrapped that up quickly. A little bigger, but I wouldn't have minded if the entire plot, besides them coming to the house and selling the house, would have been Bellucci. I thought I said Bellucci. Would have been Monica Bellucci's character. Like, that should have been the big dominant plot to me.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the focus, man.
Because that's very Burton. That's gothy. That's dark, back from the dead. I want my one and true love, That's Corpse Bride stuff. That's
yes. I feel like that was his intention, because we start with that, but then he's made to go this way with the daughter, this way, with the death in the family of the husband, excuse me.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the
okay
synopsis.
Yeah, it's in the log line.
Yeah, folks.
I knew I was gonna mess up.
Jeffrey Jones is back, but not really in this movie as Lydia's father. No, I don't know. I don't know. And speaking of which, my favorite character in this particular movie was Lydia. I thought I love Winona Ryder. I said this in my review. She's wonderfully still writing the career resurgence she had that started with Stranger Things. I thought she was so good here. I loved her reactions. She was funny without playing it funny. It's hard to be funny when you're the straight person in a comedy, and she did funny things. Her little voice exercises. Catherine O'Hara's line. I was laughing for 45 seconds after she said that. I thought I was getting attacked by a moose. She's my favorite character. If I had a least favorite character, it would be the teenager that Ortega meets. But I liked it, and I thought that even though it wraps too quickly, that was perfectly executed. I don't know what else we could have done with that.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
And you need to give Ortega something to do.
Yeah. I think, man, if this was like a 6-issue miniseries, if they could have done that with it, it would have gave him more time with the characters, and we could have had a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I would have liked that. I just think it was overstuffed, and you had X amount of runtime, and you had to just pile it all together. And that, to me, hurt in my enjoyment of the film. I had a good time revisiting these characters, but would have loved to spend more time. They did all that, and it just had to get packed in.
I'm wondering if there's any cut scenes especially from Bellucci's character.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had a problem if this was 2 hours and 15, 2:20. I mean, the Fall Guy was 2.5 hours. I mean, and that was great, and that was comedic.
Fall Guy was terrible.
Oh, this guy again.
This guy is just
look.
I'm losing my love for John in this one.
Look, I want to make a substitution. My most disliked character was Lydia.
Really?
What? Winona?
Just because she's my most liked character?
No, you just reminded me of all these things that you liked about it, and I was like, no, that was trash. I didn't like her.
I felt the most hurt for Lydia in this one, because she's such this, go-lucky young kid in the original one, and we see her flying and happy, and now she's just a depressed mom whose daughter doesn't love her, got this crazy. She lost the father of Lydia, of Astrid. She just has all this going, and now she's being snaked by snake oil salesman and Justin Theroux, the producer. Like, I felt so bad for her. That was
unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, and I have a theory behind that death, that gruesome death too, by the way. So I did some digging afterwards, and I found out why he wasn't involved because Mr. Jones, no relation to me, had to register as a sex offender based off of something he got in trouble with in 2002, and then he got arrested again in 2010 for failing to update his sex registry information. And so they kind of distanced themselves and was like, "Nah, he ain't gonna be in this in this reboot." Because if you remember, all these people that died, his was the most detailed and gruesome. If you remember.
Hold on.
I know
the actor.
I wasn't gonna say anything about Mr. Jones, but
he ain't related to me. So say what you want.
Very quickly, and I'm not defending it. I'm not defending anything, and I don't know. And yes, he's guilty, but I'm just saying we don't want people to think any.
We're talking to the husband of
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
From Ferris Bueller.
Got it.
He wasn't like arrested for like molesting kids or anything, but he was artistically painting teenage boys, so I'm not, he's guilty. He's guilty as sin.
Yeah.
But I think that he's a friend of Burton's because he's been in a few of his films. And I said this in my review. I wonder if, because he's in the movie a lot, there's a lot of pictures of him any chance Burton got. So I'm wondering if Burton was saying, "Hey, screw you, I'm squeezing him in somehow." I don't know. But yeah, that's the reason. It's an ugly, sick reason, and it's too bad to hear. But yeah.
What would have made this movie better for you, John? I'm curious, as the kind of like the more negative guy out of the three of us. I'm in between.
Just for this, I mean, I don't want to be painted as some negative guy. I mean, my gosh, I'm wearing a Pokemon shirt. I'm a happy guy.
Well, no. Just what would have made this film better for you? What have you liked seeing? You said you liked the cartoons more so than the film, but what would
I did like it more because the cartoon and stuff was a lot lighter. They're dealing and diving with more heavier stuff here, which is why I disagree with one of the points Anthony made. That he said that the film kept to its like origin and they didn't modernize it, but I would disagree. But the main thing, and it made me angry because when Winona yelled out and tried to warn them like he is a demon, he needs to be this and that. What happened to the ghost with the most? He was the ghost with the most. How's he a demon all of a sudden? The past 2 years, everything with his witchcraft and these psychics and this wizardry and demon. Like, why is he a demon all of a sudden? Why? Because they said that 3 different times. He's a demon. He needs to be one. He's a demon, this and that. The entire time, the past 3.5 decades, he's been the ghost with the most. He's been a ghost, literally haunting the people that used to live there. So all of this, like that on top of the, I did like the fact that they did keep the stop motion. I respect that. I did enjoy the stop motion. I enjoyed those scenes because that's what we saw back in the day with the eyes coming out and the stop motion claymation. That was cool. But there was just a handful of things that the 6 different arcs that had no closure. And I was just like, dude, stick to 2 plot points. The boy, which I liked. I know some of you didn't like that. I liked the boy and the mourning over the death of the father. We could have just stuck right there. But all that extra stuff was extra. Now go ahead, Anthony. I know you chomping at the bit.
Very quickly, because I know we're wrapping soon. I have to address what you said about the demon. He's always been a demon. He's referred to as a demon once, I think, in the original Beetlejuice. He's a demon. He's the demon you go to. He's always been a demon in creation, just to let you know. But a fun demon, for us, for the audience. But no, he's always been referred to as a demon. Like he is a demon. And I don't know if it's Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin who says it, but somebody refers to him as.
That just reminded me because you said Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. Another gripe. I'm sorry. Is just the resolution of their characters of ghosts from the previous film is just kind of a throwaway comment. If you didn't hear it, catch it, you wouldn't know what happened to them and why they're no longer at the house. I just kind of felt like, there should have been more little love and appreciation for that. I don't know. It was just like a throwaway comment. They finally were able to transition. Like, okay.
Yeah, there was no detail about that either.
Yeah, I don't know. My heart, like, let's a little bit more love for them. Like, I don't know. For you, Anthony, I asked John this. What would have made this a little bit more less stuff? What would you have them to stick by? I don't know if you put in on that, your 2 cents on that one.
I look, I agree it's overstuffed. I usually never say this about a film that I love, or but especially something like this, it could have used another 30 minutes. Would I swept anything?
John, I want a miniseries, John. How do you feel about that?
I would have swept a little of the teenager under the rug, maybe all of it, even though I enjoyed it.
Oh,
and just focused on Bellucci. Here I go. Oh no, I do. I keep thinking.
Said it right.
Focused on her, have her sucking souls, and and creeping through as sort of a dangerous bride of Frankenstein coming to get her man. That would have, if that was a predominant thing, that would have been even better. But I love the film. And very quickly, if I may say, one of the best sequences that Burton has ever directed, John Burton, the great director, there's a sequence in this film that pays homage to the Deo scene in the original and ups it by 1,000 and goes on a long time. Richard Harris's MacArthur Park is a song that plays. And I just think it's a beautiful, you mentioned flying earlier, how he's flying. There's dancing, levitating in the air. There's ghost orchestras. There's lip syncing that we knew was coming. So that's not a spoiler, but I won't say why or how. And it's just this massive sequence, and his camera is all over the place. And I think it's beautifully designed, beautifully choreographed and executed. And I think it's one of the best directed moments of his career, and I loved it so much. I did. Yeah.
Do you have something to say quick, Tom?
No, I already know Anthony would take a bullet for Burton. I already know.
All right. Anthony, man, I love you, man. I'm with you to a degree. I love that we got that callback and have that, and then we get a different track, if you will. I just don't know if it's as good as the last time. And they did the Deo song, but the other track that they do for like that other sequence, which I think is what you said, I forgot the name of the group. I don't know. It says
Richard Harris, the actor.
I don't know if this generation is. I think that's gonna like just go over their heads, and it's not that as good as a track as that previous with as Deo to introduce another kind of similar track. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's
I agree. I agree. The Deo sequence was fresh and new, and
people recognize that. But the new song,
and what a fun song, Deo.
Yeah.
And the way they did it, it's just most fans, it sets your heart aflutter or whatever. That's a dumb way to say it. But no, I agree. This isn't a recognizable song, but I think it's a long song, and they play a lot of it, and it has different levels. It goes crazy and then mellow, and I just think it works for the scene. And maybe how a lot of the young people today, we're that old, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what like. I don't know if it's gonna play. I don't know if it's gonna play because Deo because Deo is way older than us at the time for Beetlejuice, but it instantly became I think it became a classic again. With that, I don't know if this one's going to do the same effect.
MacArthur Park, but it's about a relationship and their metaphor of the wedding cake and the rain. But I think a lot of the youth today discover old songs from movies.
You know what? And they're probably smarter than that. We downplay our generation or the new generation sometimes. Hopefully they're smarter than it. And I'd be curious.
No, I don't think that's going to catch on like Deo did, but I'm just saying the sequence I thought was.
Oh no, I got you on that.
Beautifully done.
Arcade's listening to it at school right now.
You know what? He probably is, and he loved it. Shout out to Arcade.
When he plays his folder, I'm like, hey, where'd you get that song? I heard it in a movie.
I love that. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. This film brings back all those nostalgic feels. If you're a Beetlejuice fan, it's going to give that. And I'm as much as the negativity John has, and then my semi feelings on this, I hope people love it. We want films to succeed.
I hope it does well.
And and I'm happy for you, Anthony, that this fulfilled all of that. You know, I just wanted more. And I guess, like I said, it says a lot to the film if I wanted it to be extended out into a miniseries. Because again, they just had to do so much in this runtime that if it would have prolonged a little bit, I think it would have been a blast. Give me a long miniseries.
Quick last final thought.
Yeah.
This spoke to my Beetlejuice loving heart and didn't do it does fan service, but it was more than that. And it succeeded in my eyes. Whereas I love the Ghostbusters films, whereas the last Ghostbusters Frozen Empire failed and just fell flat for me. I think this kept the tradition of the movie, and I think it'll give fans what they want. There were people in the audience cheering Tim Burton's name.
Yeah, man.
I'm like,
that was cool.
And I think that's kind of, this is the Tim Burton we want. That's the audience saying, this is the Tim Burton we want. And I think this will play very well.
I love that. Where can people find you, Anthony, as we'll do final thoughts on our way out?
Moviereview.com, screencomment.com, at Twitter/X, Anthony Screen C1, the number 1, and at Instagram, the movie review, at the movie review.
All right, there you go. Anthony Francis, y'all support him, show him love. I'm happy for you, Anthony, even though we had some wildness on this one. And the man who isn't negative, but you know, he just has some feelings on this one. John Jones, Peach Review, final thoughts, and how can we check you out, man?
I swear I'm not the person they paint me to be. Follow me at thepeachreview.com and on all social channels, The Peach Review.
I remember. Any final thoughts? Yeah, you're not negative, man.
You're not
feelings about this.
Look, Burton fans and Beetlejuice fans will like it. But if you're neither of the two, it's probably going to be meh.
Gonna be mid.
Yeah.
Maybe. Probably right.
All right. There you go. Support and love to my man, John Jones. He isn't negative, but he's awesome. And hopefully we can get him out of his fear of the scary, so we can drag him, exercise those demons to some horror cons, getting him feel this kind of vibe.
You'll love all the creatures walking around.
Yeah, man. There you go. John Jones, show him love. Anthony Francis, I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Let's talk all things Beetlejuice in the comments below. We could probably go on longer. Again, in between the two of the guys, you know, love and hate. I'm right there in between. I wanted more. It's just a lot. And if it was in like a mini series, man, this would have been amazing, because there's so many threads I think they could have really had fun with. So there you go. Those are our thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Beetlejuice. And one more time, Beetlejuice. We're now in the world. Let's celebrate in the comments below. Let's talk about it. There you go. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy QP, Nerds Rule the World. Just got out of the press screening for Beetlejuice. I won't say it one more time because we all know what happens when you say it 3 times. Initial thoughts coming out of Beetlejuice. I just said it 3 times. Danger. I think my thoughts are, I think Beetlejuice fans are going to enjoy it. If you're a hardcore Beetlejuice fan, it gives you all of that Beetlejuice nostalgia elements that you love. Keaton is brilliant as always in that role. Jenna Ortega. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her. Catherine O'Hara. I love her. Winona Ryder. Fantastic. There's a lot of story, a lot of different things that they're trying to do in this one that are very interesting, I'll say. But does it all stick together? You'll have to stay tuned for my review, but it's good to see. So listen up. Review coming soon. Nerds rule the world. Your boy KP.